One of the things that I see so many wedding professionals worry and stress about is how they put together their services or their product proposal. You can call this packages, you can call this customized proposal or a quote, or just your product listing, whatever you call it. Everyone stresses out about this. I don't care if you're a brand new startup or you've been in business for 10 years. This presentation of your services and products does not get easier because your services and products evolve and you always have to find a different way to communicate it to your target market as it evolves. Here's the thing. It's so much less about the what of your selling than the how of your process. How you're going to service that client is way more important than the actual nuts and bolts, okay? Now, the nuts and bolts are important. The nuts and bolts, how you're going to deliver on that, that's actually the most important piece of the event production piece, absolutely. But the client, when they're trying to make that decision, they need that first understanding of how it all happens. Okay, so piece of letterpress stationery. I'm pretty sure I have one around here. I do, but it's in here. So I can't show you. But you know what letterpress stationery looks like. I don't need to show this to you. If I'm showing somebody a letterpress piece of stationery, I can say, this costs $20, this little piece of paper. And people will look at me cross-eyed like, what, Michelle, you're crazy. No. Right? You've probably seen clients go through this. Like, I don't get what the whole letterpress thing is. What is the how behind that piece of stationery? How did that piece of stationery come to life? What are all the steps that happen? There's the design process. There's the editing process. There's creating proofs and plates. And then there's the actual manual labor of pressing ink into paper. When you see those steps, the how behind the what, all of a sudden, I get it. It's $20 at least. So you need to make sure that your clients understand that how. Most people come in wanting a what. So if you're hiring a wedding planner, I want somebody to do day of coordination. Their mind is the what. You're going to show up at 10 a.m. and you're going to leave at 7. That's the what in their mind. You know, the reality of that day is showing up at 4 and leaving at 2. Okay, so that's beside the point because you've had, even with a month end, or final preparation event execution, you still have a good month to 3 months worth of work leading up to it, right? And that's just for, a basic wedding planning service like that. So they need to know the actual how of that what. The what is the final piece, right? If you're not showing them or talking about the how things get done and explaining that process, it's very hard for them to find the value in that final product, that value in paying you. So in printing those services, it's really important to, list out exactly what they're going to be getting. But honestly, that's much more of a piece for almost the legal material when you're signing the actual deliverables on that product or service. In the selling, you really want to talk about that process. So let me talk to you a little bit about what you can expect working with us. 3 months before the wedding, we're going to sit down and talk about this. And this is where we come up with your vision, right? Explain all of those steps. This can be said for any piece of your business. You really want to show them how things are happening. This is why video is so important these days, because if you can incorporate video into your website and not just showing glamorous behind the scenes that's highly edited, but show that grunt work. It's also why Insta Stories is really powerful too, so that people can see the actual work that you do for every event that you produce. So don't get too crazy about the service and products listing. Yes, it is important. It's a necessary evil that you have to continue doing. But the how of that what is so much more important. Make sure you're talking about it in your sales consultation. Make sure that you're expressing it, ideally in a video on your website. Make sure that you're using it within your social media. And that's what's going to help people understand the value of what you bring to their event.